Hi everyone, it's Jen Kinkade, Garden Girl with 2 peas in a bucket for another Scrap Your Stash video series. This week I'm going to talk about tags and bags, specifically shipping tags and mini bags. I saw these 2 images from Pinterest. I'm going to base the whole arrangement of my layout on these images that I found. So let's get started with product. First I have white cardstock from Basil, Project Life paper from the Midnight Collection, and a series of different types of tags. This is from Farmhouse Company, different file folders and tags, and my mini bags from Fancy Pants, Whisker Graphics, and Webster's Pages. Next I'm going to show you a variety of tags from Dear Lizzie, Fifth and Frolic, Pebbles, Maya Road plain shipping tags, and Maya Road chipboard tags that I'll use on this layout. And I have some exclusive flair here from 2 peas in a bucket. I'm going to lay each one out so you can see exactly what they look like against the white cardstock. The hello, the arrows, the right here, right now, and the globe, and just the different ones that came in my order. So now I have already cut the white cardstock, trimmed it a little bit so I can back it with the pattern paper, but first I'm going to show you how I use my watercolors to create the drops. Normally I don't add my drops until after I have all of my elements down, but I knew this was going to be a heavy page as far as photos and embellishments. So I'm taking my round tip brush and taking lots of water and adding it to my palette here, and if I need to I add a little bit more water to create the bigger splatters as well as some of the littler ones. And you just kind of go back and forth, and depending on what size of splatter you want to use, that's how much water you will add to the paint palette. And I let it dry just a little bit so the cardstock would soak it up. Now I'm going to take my paper towel and dab some of the excess. If you wanted to, if you have time, you can let this air dry and let the paper completely soak it up, or take your paper towel and dab the excess. I'm normally a little bit too impatient to just let it dry on its own, so I do end up either using a heat gun or a paper towel to speed the process along. And so now I'm going to take the dotted side to this Midnight Project Life paper, add some of my adhesive, which I always consider to be somewhat temporary because I end up sewing around the edges, and add my white cardstock on top of it. Later I'll go back and sew around and make sure everything is secure, dabbing a little bit more of the wet spots because I'm going to start adding my layers of embellishment right away. And so I keep referring back to my images here of how I kind of want to place each tag and bag and how I want it to flow. I have these pictures of my middle daughter that we did for her 15th birthday. She's normally the only one I can get out and take photos of anymore. She enjoys it, I enjoy it, and hey, I have photos for scrapbooking. So I'm starting out with the Maya chipboard shipping tags. I decided to leave them plain for this because I wanted some neutral parts. I wanted to keep this layout fairly simple as far as the design and colors, and I'm adding some of the exclusive 2 piece flair on top of it as well. Again, what I'm doing here as I'm placing each embellishment down, I have these pictures to refer on my iPad just away from my desk. And here I'm adding the Webster's Pages mini bag. This is actually a 2-sided bag, so I decided to use the side that was a little less floral looking, and I bent down the back of the bag. And what you're going to see me do is add the tags and the bags in combination. I'm creating lots of layers and areas where I can add photos, areas where I can tuck little embellishments in there. Like for instance, on some of the tags I asked my daughter what her favorite songs were that she was listening to, or on another tag I wrote things down like what it is she enjoys doing. She's playing soccer, running track, and how she gets along with her sisters or not. So it's just a culmination of where she is at 15, and it's almost like this is going to be an interactive page. Once I put it in a page protector, I'll put a little tag on the outside of the page protector letting her know that this is an interactive page and to look in each pocket. So I'm adhering things down as I continue to refer to my mood board for the design and layout. And I'm taking some of the 2Ps cut files here and one that I also made on my own with my Silhouette software. And so I'm deciding where I want to put this because that's a shipping tag that I welded together, two different tags, so I could fold it and put the number 15 on there. And so I'm just playing around with placement and deciding which ampersand that I want to use, whether I want something a little bit lighter or something a little bit bolder. And ultimately I'm going to end up using the stencil looking ampersand. And I'm using tacky glue to adhere my chipboard pieces down. You could also use a hot glue gun for that as well. It might adhere a little bit quicker depending on what you want, but tacky glue is pretty versatile, and so I always keep a nice large bottle of it around along with my hot glue gun. And so I'm going to adhere each one down. Make sure it's secure because sometimes the glue will make it warp and you might have to go back and add a little bit more adhesive or maybe your stapler to make sure things are exactly where you would like it to be. And now I'm going to get ready and use the tacky glue once again to adhere the ampersand down. You could use whatever adhesive you like for this. It's not quite as big of a deal, but I did want to make sure that it would stick to the chipboard tag, since chipboard can be, I don't know, a little bit dry maybe, or resist just a normal tape runner when it comes to putting things down. And now I'm going to take my tag that I made with my Silhouette Cameo and figure out where that 15 will pop the best on the layout. And I think what I'll end up doing is adding it to the bottom of the wood grain bag from Webster's Pages. And what I'll end up doing is just adhering it with a tape runner plus lightly sewing it down so it's secure. And I'm going to continue to play with these embellishments to see exactly where I want each thing to end up. I like how my color palette has stayed pretty soft with the turquoise, the pink, and then the contrast of the black. That color scheme will stay throughout. And now that my hot glue gun has warmed up, I'm going to start by adhering the 2P's exclusive flare. Just remember to remove all of those extra little hot glue hairs, I guess you could call them. I don't know. They can kind of get in the way and just kind of distract from the whole layout. So be sure to make sure you pull those off whenever you're done. I'm going to add that arrow flare right on top of the chipboard tag and the ampersand. And now I'm taking my photos. I have about 4 photos, 2 black and white and 2 color. You'll see a lot of times I like to use black and white a lot, but today I thought I would mix the two. So I'm getting my American Crafts Pop Dots to add a little bit of dimension to the photo. And then if I wanted to stick something like a tab or something by the photo or add something near it, then I could. So I'm just going to decide where I want each one to go and continuing to add tags because I really want this to be a really layered layout, a fun layout where she has a good time kind of discovering each thing that I've put in each mini bag and on each tag. I'm going to take this Pebbles tag and I'm actually going to cut off a little bit of it and just put it right on top with that string hanging off the side. Just kind of looks fun and whimsical to kind of put it there like that. And I was able to attach it right there with my tiny attacher and not interfere with the tags going in the file folder. Now I'm getting ready to add my second photo, again with pop dots. And I would say put as many on there as you like. I really don't have a set number. I just make sure that I have at least 2 or 3 so they stand up. And then you may have to go back and add more to the sides depending on what other embellishments that you're using. And now with this photo, I think I'm going to overlap it and layer it with the tag and bag there up on the top. And now I've added some typewriter journaling that's going to say about you. And the tag inside of this bag will have 15 things about her at the age of 15. So it's all working together, coming together. And right here I forgot actually to add pop dots to the back of that photo. So luckily the adhesive wasn't so strong that I destroyed the bag or the back of my photo, and I could go back and I could fix that super quick. So mistakes happen, no big deal. You go back, you fix them. And this is pretty much my finished layout. I'm going to add some silhouette cuts and printables that are exclusive to the Two Peas in a Bucket digital shop. As you can see here, some tags, some smaller embellishments to bring it all together. So grab your shipping tags and mini bags and create a project and upload it to the gallery for a chance to win a gift certificate to the Two Peas in a Bucket shop. Check back every Thursday for a new Scrap Your Stash video. This is Jen Kinkade, Garden Girl with Two Peas in a Bucket.